Alright, so I'm gonna preface this video by saying these are my personal opinion. First of all, there are no legendaries on this list at all. I do like legendaries, but I'm not gonna exclude them and put them on a separate list. Only because, like, if I were to put legendaries on this list, about half the list would just be legendaries. So these are like my top 10 Pokemon that I've come to like. These are my top 10 favorite Pokemon. I hope you enjoy, and please don't judge me. These are my top 10. They may not be your top 10. If you have a top 10 that you want to put up, put it in the comment section below. We can discuss this. I really don't mind discussing this at all. So I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you next time. Alright, so let me get this started. And at number 10, I have Salamence. Now, Salamence is a Pokemon that I decided to choose as my number 10 slot, only because, well, first of all, it's the only dragon type that I really will use at all. Like, I really don't like most dragon types. I don't like how they've been, like, not really overexposed, but like overused. Like, if you look at the amount of dragon types there are, there's like maybe what, without just counting evolutionary lines, I think it's like what, 20 dragon types right now, and almost what, 4 or 5 of them, 6 of them now, 7, yeah, it sounds like 7 are still the legendaries. And I don't like that. I don't like how they put dragon types at a much higher scale than other Pokemon. Like, name a bug type that's actually really popular that isn't, what, Heracross or Scizor. You don't have a lot. Like, there's not a lot of bug type Pokemon that have a lot of high stats. So I think they should balance that out a bit. Like, dragon types have been too much on the strong side, and like, yeah, it makes sense, but they should balance that out, because it's really annoying when you see a whole team of just dragons, like pseudo legendary dragons. So yeah, now to go back to Salamence. Salamence is my number 10 spot only because of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Because prior to Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, I wouldn't even touch a Salamence. Like, I hated that idea of a pseudo legendary like that. But after playing Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and after particularly playing the Delta episode of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, I really came to like Salamence, and I come to appreciate it a lot because I've actually used it a few times. It's really useful. Like, if I really didn't like play the Delta episode, I wouldn't even know Salamence was a thing. So yeah, Salamence is my number 10 option. Well, number 10 spot for my top 10 favorite Pokemon. Alright, so number 9 on this list is Luxray. Now, Luxray in particular is a Pokemon that I've only used in Gen 4, and I think for Gen 4, Luxray wasn't the best electric type, because most electric type attacks are special, besides Thunder Fang, which is probably the only physical attack, electric type attack I will learn. But for the most part, I think Luxray just like stuck with me only because I've used it so many times in Gen 4. Like, it's been on my signature Gen 4 team, where it's like Luxray and a few others I'm not gonna name because, like, what, 3 of them on the list after Luxray. So yeah, Luxray is my number 9 option. Alright, so my number 8 option is Azumarill. Now, Azumarill I didn't really even knew existed until I saw Maryland's Pokemon White 2 playthrough, and I think that's like when I first got introduced into PokeTube. And Maryland is really like the staple of PokeTube. Like, before Maryland, I probably wouldn't even paid attention to Azumarill. I probably wouldn't have paid attention to most PokeTubers in general. Like, now I follow PokeTubers like Glitchix City, Happy Dragonite, K-Mex. I know most of those are like remixes, but I also follow like PokeTubers like M&J Pokevit and King Nappy. So I think Maryland, like, being the staple for me in PokeTube, really brought me into a community that I come to respect. Like, come to play with, I come to enjoy. So yeah, Maryland brought me Azumarill, and it brought me PokeTube. So if you could thank a Maryland for this video. Alright, so number 6 on this list is Mienshao. Alright, sorry. Number 7 on this list is Mienshao. I actually miscounted that. I don't know why I can't count backwards for some reason. Alright, number 7 on this list is Mienshao. I like Mienshao for a lot of reasons, but particularly, it's been like a staple on my team recently. Like, if I uploaded the videos with my team Ninja was first to come out, it would be using Fake Out, and then I would have with the Life Orb. It would be Fake Out with the Life Orb, and then like after that, I would either U-turn, Drain Punch, or High Jump Kick. So just Ninja has become like a real powerhouse in my team. I would actually kind of respect it a lot. So yeah, I think it's enough said about Ninja. That's why it's my number 7 spot on my list. Alright, so number 6, well, number 6 got pushed back by quite a lot. Like, before Gen 7, and before I had exposure to different Pokemon that I've probably never seen before, Staraptor would probably been number 3. I mean, number 3 or 4, because it was still in competition with another Pokemon, but Staraptor probably been number 3 on this list, because I love Staraptor. Like, my old channel, before it got hacked, had a video, Staraptor Wreck, where Staraptor just tore apart my friend's team. And like, Staraptor's always been a Pokemon I've used. In Gen 4, I used it on all my teams. I used it in Gen 6 in Kalos. I used it recently for like a playthrough Gen 7. But like, until I was introduced into like 2 other Pokemon, it'd probably been number 4 or 3 on this list, but it got beat out. Took long enough, but it finally did. That's why Staraptor's number 6 on this list. Alright, so this is where the list gets really close. I mean, it was sort of close before, but this is where the list got closed up. So my number 5 spot is Roserade. And like Staraptor, it would probably have been higher up if it wasn't for the next 2 Pokemon. But like Roserade, I've used ever since it came out in Gen 4. Like, it was on my Gen 4 team, it was on my Black 2 and White 2 team, it was on my X and Y team, it was on my Oras team. Like, I've used it every game you could have gotten in. Even in Sun and Moon, like, I still use it to this day, and it's still useful to this day, because like I'm still using the same strategy. Roserade, like, when I first was introduced to Roserade, I'm thinking it's gonna be one of those puny grass Pokemon. Like, I was not into grass Pokemon back then. Like, the only grass Pokemon I would use in Gen 4 would probably be my starter, Torterra. But yeah, it beat out Torterra by a long shot, and it's not my favorite grass type. It really is. Like, if I want to compare grass types, it'd probably be it'd be Roserade first, then it'd probably be Serperior, then Torterra. Like, Roserade took me by storm. Like, I never really thought I'd ever use a grass type. I never really thought I'd use a poison type, to be fair, and I actually ended up using both. So Roserade, yeah, I love Roserade. Alright, so my number 4 spot is a new Pokemon. It's Mimikyu. And while Mimikyu was a Pokemon that everybody thought it's gonna be another Pikachu clone, or it's gonna be one of those annoying Pokemon, like, when I first saw Mimikyu, I'm like, this is gonna be very good or very bad. And I've used Mimikyu every time I play through Sun and Moon now, because it's so good. Like, Mimikyu's ability, Disguise, you get one free move to set up. Like, if you use Z-Splash, you basically got the devil on your team. Like, Mimikyu using Z-Splash is GG, game over. There's no way you're coming back from this, because Z-Splash raises all your stats by, what, I think 1 stage? And that's really useful, especially with Mimikyu. Like, you've got a double, especially his attack stat. So Mimikyu is one of those 2 Pokemon that legitimately beat out 2 of my favorite Pokemon on this list, making it the number 4 spot. Alright, so I'm not gonna lie, this one was probably the most unexpected option on this list. Milotic. I never used Milotic before Gen 7. I never thought I would use a Milotic, period. I tried to find one in Emerald, I could not find one in Emerald. I never thought I would even, like, use Milotic, period. But in Gen 7, I got one traded a Milotic holding, well, I got one traded a Feebas holding the Prism Scale that evolved, and I'm like, okay, this could be interesting. And I never really even used Milotic. I only seen Milotic on like Wallace's team. So when I use Milotic, I'm actually really impressed, because right now my current Milotic on my team, which is my champion, like my tournament team, it has Dragon Pulse, Skull, Recover, and Miracle, which is a deadly move set if you can get it done right. And I think it has sustainability competitive. So yeah, Milotic number 3. Didn't really expect to make it on this list, period. but it really beat out a lot of Pokemon when it came to it. So yeah, Milotic, number 3. Number 3, beating out 2 of my most signature Pokemon, actually. No, 3 of my most signature Pokemon, so yeah. Milotic. I don't know what else to say. It's like, Milotic's so awesome, and it's so bulky. Like, I don't think I particularly trained it to be bulky, but I must have got a bulky Milotic. So, yeah, that's my number 3 option. Alright, so number 2 and number 1 spot were like really close in my mind. Like, I've actually gotten really close to both of these Pokemon in particular, but it came down to favoritism in the end. And I was probably a Pokemon when I first. I'm gonna say it. Infernape's number 2. Infernape deserves the number 2 option. I mean, Infernape, firefighting. It was the second one in a row, and honestly, most people were thinking, ew, another firefighting type. It's gonna be exactly like Blaziken, but no, Infernape stood out on its own. Like, Infernape in the games was like really powerful. Infernape in the anime was badass. Like, I couldn't, like, if I look up Ash Ketchum's win streak of Infernape, it's actually really close to Greninja. So that's pretty good, especially if, and I think like Infernape in particular, like the whole Paul Electivire, like that final 4 battle in the Sinnoh League, no, the final 6 battles in the Sinnoh League that got Ash into the semifinals was really interesting to say the least. Like, especially that final cutscene. Like, with a lot of respect for Infernape, and yeah, I think Infernape really well deserves the spot it got. It probably would have been higher if it wasn't for my number 1 slot. Alright, so let's be honest, number 1's predictable as hell. It's Lucario. I mean, Lucario's been the Pokemon I've used ever since it came out. I didn't even see the movie when it first came out. Like, I didn't even know Lucario had a movie. Like, my first exposure to Lucario was that Riolu in its egg on Iron Island. I was like, okay, it's a baby Pokemon, never seen one of these before, let me use it. And I used it. I trained it, and I came to like it, and it started kicking some real ass on my team. Like, I'd use the Lucario in every game possible. Like, I won the trick. No, I did. Wait, yeah, I've used Lucario in every game possible. I brought up Lucario I had from Gen 4 all the way to Gen 7. It's still on my team to this day. Like, Lucario's become a major staple to me. It's been my channel mascot for, what, 2 years now? Even when I lost my channel, I brought it here. It's still my favorite Pokemon. Like, even though it's not my current champion team, because it's like steel fighting, that's too many weaknesses, it's still my favorite Pokemon. I still have a lot of respect for it, and I think when it comes to like fighting types in general and steel types in general, Lucario is my favorite. It really is. Like, it's undoubtedly my favorite Pokemon. Like, you see it everywhere I go. It's my channel intro. I use it as my channel intro. It's my channel mascot. It's just like a bomb, and I really like Lucario a lot. So yeah, that's basically it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.